An incredible batting collapse saw Somerset lose their latest Friends Provident T20 match by 10 runs to Essex at Taunton, when at one point they had the game well and truly won themselves. These are the highlights. Essex won the toss and batted on a slow and dry pitch, and with a score on 23 in the third over, Alistair Cook was first to go, dinking a slower ball from Xander de Brain to James Hildreth at short fine leg on 18. Ravi Bipara had really struggled, failing to hit a single boundary in the 15 balls he faced. He fell towards the end of the power play overs, pulling Alfonso Thomas to Arul Sapire at deep mid-wicket, with the score at 43 for 2. That brought to the crease one of the world's leading T20 players in Ryan Ten-Doeschate, but it was his partner Matthew Walker who played the more aggressive innings, hitting the first 6 of the match. It was a good time, therefore, for Somerset to take a wicket, and Murali Kartik duly obliged by having Walker caught at mid-wicket by Kieran Pollard for 35 with the score at 80. It was the introduction of Sapire in the 12th over which saw Essex kick on as 16 came off his only over. Ten-Doeschate hit the left-arm spinner for 2 successive sixes as the bowler dropped the ball too short. Scott Styris decided that he didn't want this to be the Ten-Doeschate show, and he joined in the big hitting. But a superb one-handed catch on the boundary by de Brain saw the back of the Kiwi for 27 at 145 for 4. Somerset were aided by an injury to Ten-Doeschate, who slipped here, straining a calf muscle in the process. Pollard showed great sportsmanship by refusing to run him out, but a dead ball had been called in any case. He was forced to retire hurt on 48 made from 31 deliveries. James Foster and Grant Flower tried to throw the kitchen sink at everything at the end of the innings, but Foster was caught at long on by Trigo off the excellent Pollard for 7 at 167 for 5 with 9 balls left. Thomas is making a real name for himself as a death bowler, and he bowled Flower for 13 in the final over. And to the last ball, Tim Phillips found Trigo at short fine leg as Essex finished their 20 overs on 177 for 7, Thomas finishing with figures of 3 for 24. Somerset needed a bright start, and that was given to them by Marcus Trescothick and Nick Compton, who was included in place of Craig Kieswetter on England duty. Both batsmen timed the ball well and were finding the gaps with ease as they took the score to 65 without loss in the first 6 overs, 113 needed off the last 14. Compton played arguably his best innings in Somerset colours, reaching an excellent 50 off only 36 deliveries, as Somerset made it to 93 without loss, 85 needed from the last 10 overs. The first wicket fell to the final ball of the 11th, as Trescothick placed a short delivery right down John Maunder's throat at long off, and he was out for 40. The big crowd could now get a look at Pollard with the bat, and they weren't to be disappointed as he hit Danish Canaria for 3 enormous sixes in 4 balls, this the biggest of them. Fair play to Canaria that he bowled the West Indian next ball to bring an end to an innings which was worth 21 off only 8 deliveries. But the runs kept on coming in all manner of ways as Compton was joined by Hildreth, and they kept their side well above the rate. Compton was becoming the hero, manoeuvring his body well to play the necessary shots, as the target was reduced to only 34 from the last 5 overs, with 8 wickets still in hand. So it didn't need any real heroics for Somerset to win with ease, but the dismissal of Hildreth, who rather gave his wicket away, easily stubbed by Foster for 6 at 145 for 3, changed the complexion of this extraordinary match. Compton then fell in an odd fashion after making 74 off 55 balls, as he went for a reverse sweep, and he somehow flicked his own wicket with his bat and was gone at 147 for 4. 31 were now needed from 20 balls, and from nowhere we had a game on, especially when Trigo chipped Styris to Flower at mid-wicket, 153 for 5. 2 balls later and it was panic stations as de Brain gave Styris an easy enough cordon bowl chance, meaning that 24 runs were needed from the last 2 overs. Josh Butler hit the first ball of the penultimate over for 4, but he was then given out leg before to Masters to the next, 158 for 7. Unbelievably, Somerset now went into the final overs still needing 16 runs to win, and Sapire had to take a risk which led to him being run out coming back for a second run off the first ball. And from the 5th, Ben Phillips was bowled attempting the impossible, and Somerset had thrown away a very handsome position, losing 8 wickets for 44 runs in 43 balls to lose by 10 runs as they finished on 167 for 9. Somerset then missed a great chance to move into the top 4, and they will need to learn from their mistakes If they do, they still have every chance of making it into the last 8.